Your IFAC is on. Tonight.
This person is totally incapable of empathy. I want his family to counsel him.
What would you say to that, Father? Well, I'd say we've had a lot of problems with radical Islamic terrorism. That's what I'd say.
More controversy surrounding Donald Trump, but this one's a bit different. We'll have the inside story about the candidate versus the Muslim father of a slain soldier tonight.
What did you think of the conventions?
It's kind of useful when you need grown food. You know, plants, vegetables, fruits, all of that.
I think you're talking about the farmer's market.
Yeah, is that it?
Waters with a post-convention world. We'll hear what the folks have to say.
If I was to run for president to stop a war, I'll ask the person that's starting the war, what's your problem?
Also had a preview of the big upcoming movie, Killing Reagan.
They have been underestimating us all our lives. I want to show them what I can do. Not without you, not without your face.
Caution. You are about to enter the no-spin zone. Factor begins right now. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. Will President Obama help or hurt Hillary Clinton in her quest to become president? That is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. On Friday, the Commerce Department gave Americans the bad news. Economic growth now tracking at 1% this year, 1%. That is the weakest start to a year since 2011 and the worst economic recovery since 1949. That report issued just 2 days after President Obama said this.
After the worst recession in 80 years, we fought our way back. We've seen deficits come down, 401ks recover, an auto industry set new records.
That's true. Big business and the stock market are generally doing well. But on your street, that might not be the case. The Wall Street Journal reports that some corporations are not investing in the future. Rather, they are taking as much profit as they can right now. That signals that big business does not believe the American economy is robust. And who suffers? The worker, because jobs are not being created. So President Obama can say anything he wants, trot out any stats he wants. But the reality is we are living in a country that today has 1% economic growth. Now, how is Hillary Clinton going to handle that? Because the economy is the most important issue of the campaign. Here's what she said Thursday night.
Our economy is so much stronger than when they took office. Nearly 15 million new private sector jobs, 20 million more Americans with health insurance, and an auto industry that just had its best year ever. Now, that's real progress, but none of us can be satisfied with the status quo.
Problem is, Mrs. Clinton has not defined yet precise economic measures that she would take to change the status quo, other than a $275 billion federal investment program in public works. But that's taxpayer dollars, not private sector stimulation. The same scenario President Obama has been using. Trump, on the other hand, says he'll renegotiate all kinds of trade deals and punish corporations who move jobs overseas. The Republican candidate also says he'll cut corporate and personal income taxes to stimulate consumer spending and investment. Hillary Clinton says she'll raise taxes on the wealthy, but has not clearly defined her corporate tax view. So, you, the voter, have to decide which economic posture you believe will be most effective.
By the lie she has now.
Is most
8 different tax brackets. 8. Trump, 3. 8. From Clinton, different tax brackets. Can't even say it. Holy shit.
militant. If elected, he will build a wall on the southern border and bring heavy scrutiny. Personal income taxes to stimulate consumer spending and investment. Hillary Clinton says she'll raise taxes on the wealthy, but has not clearly defined her corporate tax view. So, you, the voter, have to decide which economic posture you believe will be most effective. Now on to immigration. It is here that Trump is most militant. If elected, he will build a wall on the southern border and bring heavy scrutiny to illegal aliens already living in the USA. There's no wiggle room on that. If elected, Trump would have to do it. Secretary Clinton has a much more nuanced approach.
Comprehensive immigration reform will grow our economy and keep families together, and it's the right thing to do. So, whatever party you belong to, or if you belong to no party at all, if you share these beliefs, this is your campaign.
Yay!
These beliefs? I'm not really sure what that means. Right now, the Democratic Party has no program to secure the southern border.
You're a
Apparently,
hater.
the party believes all is well down there. But the Border Patrol Union has endorsed Trump, so all may not be well. Also, if you read the Democratic Party platform, and I'm sure you all have, it basically says that any illegal alien who doesn't commit a crime in the USA should be able to stay. The Bernie Sanders crew wants completely open borders.
Kristen, this is what I'm talking about. Remember 20, 30 years ago, talk like this would be like, oh, you're kidding. It would be far left. Now this is moderate. If you don't believe in open borders, then you're a radical. It's not over though. Go change it back.
And amnesty for everyone already here. Does Hillary Clinton want that? We don't know yet.
Sorry. I'll shut up. It's hard to keep my mouth shut.
He says
Socialist crap.
that any illegal alien who doesn't commit a crime in the USA should be able to stay. The Bernie Sanders crew wants completely open borders and amnesty for everyone already here. Does Hillary Clinton want that? We don't know yet. The calculation may be that Hispanic Americans don't want any immigration action other than assimilation. If the Clinton campaign comes to that conclusion, the secretary won't say much about illegal immigration other than the cliched mantra, comprehensive immigration reform, which means absolutely nothing. Finally, terrorism. Very big issue, as you know, especially if there's another attack here in America. It's clear Barack Obama's policy toward ISIS and other Islamic jihadists is to defeat them gradually. The president does not want to commit ground troops, even if they are under an international banner like NATO. Mr. Obama's policy is called acceptable losses. That is, in the terror conflict, people will die. But you don't overreact by committing massive forces to destroy ISIS. I mean, look at what's happened. ISIS gained power under the Obama administration. And while it has been recently set back some, it is still the world's most dangerous organization. And these savages sit there in Raqqa, Syria, just 50 miles away from the Turkish border. Trump says he'll defeat ISIS quickly, but he says he will not tell us how, because then ISIS would know. But there's no question that Donald Trump is far more aggressive, at least verbally, than President Obama has been on the ISIS situation. So what does Hillary Clinton do? Here's what she said on Thursday.
Anyone reading the news can see the threats and turbulence we face, from Baghdad to Kabul to Nice and Paris and Brussels, from San Bernardino to Orlando. We're dealing with determined enemies that must be defeated. We will strike their sanctuaries from the air and support local forces taking them out on the ground. We will surge our intelligence so we detect and prevent attacks before they happen.
Well,
Bless her heart.
that is the exact same policy President Obama has. No difference. Today, new polling says Mrs. Clinton did get a bump from her convention.
No drama, Obama.
She's slightly ahead of Donald Trump if you factor in the margin of error. But a political scientist at Stony Brook University in New York says that Trump, wait for it, has an 87% chance of defeating Hillary Clinton in November. The teacher, Helmut Norpoff, bases his projection on the primary votes from both parties and past presidential elections. Now, of course, that's speculation, but so are the polls at this point. Americans will not lock in until after Labor Day. And of course, the 3 debates will mean everything this year. Finally, Hillary Clinton has to decide how much President Obama's support means to her campaign. It's a given that this election is very personal. African Americans and Hispanics largely supporting her, white Americans supporting Trump in large numbers. For you far-left smear websites out there, that is a general statement of fact backed up by the polls. So President Obama campaigning for Hillary Clinton will, of course, galvanize the minority vote. However, it may also drive more working-class white voters into the Trump camp. Mr. Obama is convinced, he firmly believes, that his economic programs have saved America from a Great Depression. But that kind of conjecture means nothing to people who are struggling to pay their bills. Summing up, Trump offers bold change in his speeches. Secretary Clinton offers mainly conventional liberal thinking. She can depart from that to some extent without alienating her party, but if she repudiates any of President Obama's policies, she knows she might alienate him. Is she willing to do that?
Nope.
And that's a memo. Next on the rundown, reaction.
Called toe the line. Unbelievable.